You want to represent, draw on paper or type it on the computer. You want to process the logic or show the logic of how the folders and subfolders are connected to each other. In this diagram that they did in the book, they show that book categories is the main folder. Fiction, biography, children, humor, social sciences, nonfiction, and medical are subfolders of the main folder book categories. Now, here the folders should be represented in alphabetical order, which means it first would be biography, then children, then fictional. But your book kind of did it a little bit different because fiction has two subfolders underneath it. So they drew it so the one with the subfolders were on the left. And better would be that fiction and West were reading left to right rather than underneath each other would have been a better picture for us to look at. Now here we see book categories is our main folder, and we looked at the top to see if we could create a new file up there. We didn't see it. So we're going to right click on book categories, point to new, click on folder, and now we're going to make a subfolder to the books categories. We're going to type fiction because we're going to type them in the order left to right, that the way the book is showing us. And now watch what happens when we create the next subfolder. So we're going to right click on book categories again, go to new, then we're going to go to folder, click on folder, and then we're going to type the next folder, which is biography. Now watch what it does once we press enter. Windows automatically corrects the order that those folders are listed in to keep biography as the first folder and fiction as the subfolder. Keep in mind that folders are general names. They're not specific. Biography. We have many biographies. We could have many fiction titles. We can have many children titles. When you list something specific, like Pete's Dragon, that's a specific item. That would be our file. We would type a file like our review of the book Pete's Dragon. So that would be a file inside of the children's folder. And now let's talk about how Windows looks at the relationship between main folders and subfolders. Book categories would be called the parent folder. Book categories would be called the parent folder. Biography, children, fiction, humor, social sciences, those would be children to the main folder book categories. Okay, in a folder tree, remember folder tree, that's what we called it. Folder tree, family tree. That's why they call it a folder tree, because it's related to a family tree. If you typed a space between non and fiction, that's fine, but you want to capitalize the F and the N also. But to continue our talk on that, the main folders are called parent folders. You only have one parent folder, many children folders. And now we look at the fiction, and if we make subfolders to fiction, then the two folders that we make to fiction would be the children to fiction. Fiction is a child folder to book categories. Fiction is a child folder to book categories, but it is a parent folder to science fiction. Science fiction is the child of fiction. Oh yeah, I guess it gets better. Science fiction is the grandchild of the folder book categories. Western would be a child folder of fiction. Fiction is a child folder of book categories. And then Western is the grandchild of book categories. Just like our family tree, we have our folder tree. Same type of relationships. Parents, grandparents, children, grandchildren. Same way.